this makes, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all know what it is. What's good? It's your man Valentine, a.k.a. Valen Grinder, RS Radio, RS Experience. We up here with my man DWI, the Matrix Studios, legendary DJ Disco Wiz, groundbreaking author Ivan Sanchez, growing up wild style in the BX. Y'all know what it is.
Word.
One love.
Yo, Valentine.
Yeah, what's good? We are back, RS Radio. That was She Wet with my man Threat. We're going to have him up here in a couple of weeks. We're having some good dialogue. I'm glad I got the brothers in the house, Ivan Sanchez, DJ Disco Wiz. We're having a good show this week, all right? So, this show is aired on 1.FM Jams, the urban format leader of iTunes and Windows Media, 91.9 FM, egradioonline.com, stickcam.com/919, 365 Live. So we're all over the place. Everybody knows. Today's show is sponsored by RisenSun.com, VMG Productions, E2K on the Spot, Lady G, what else? Street Gang NYC, and my girl Fetty DiBiase, FettyFashions.com. Shout outs to DJ J. Ronan. I got a big announcement to make. Lady G's gonna be on the Tyra Banks show.
Wow.
Is that crazy? Yeah, it was already filmed. It'll air December 31st. She's part. We were talking earlier how everybody's focused on the wrong things. Like people, I'm like this. If you do something that merits fame, you'll get fame. If you do something that merits, like there's a book I already said, don't chase money, chase being the best at what you do. And when you're the best at what you do, money will then chase you.
Let's talk about hip-hop as a business, as an industry.
Talk to me.
You know what I'm saying? You talk about maybe 80% of these people that the top 2% don't even know where the culture come from. Don't even know their history.
I agree.
Don't know where it's been and don't know where it's going.
I agree.
So they too involved with all the intangibles of business. So it's just like any other corporate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Once anything becomes too commercialized, it's not good anymore. And that's the reason why I like artists like, for instance, I like Talib. I like these artists who have taken their own destiny in their hands
and they didn't sell out to the point. They didn't fully sell. They did enough to keep themselves relevant, but they didn't go all the way over. Yeah. They're not chasing the big Bentleys and all that. They go with being an artist.
Immortal Technique is one. The kid sells a lot of records independently. Like one of the DJs on the show, my partner on the show, DJ J. Ronan, he always keeps me up to date with the independent movement, like the independent record sales. And I was amazed because I didn't know like there were so many brothers still doing it independently, those numbers. Like you got the majors who, they're taking 80-85% of the profits and you're slaving to make $1.
Let me tell you something.
And you got brothers independently.
If you ain't doing that now, then you ain't about your hustle.
Yeah.
Because right now, let me tell you something, this is the sweetest time to be fully empowered.
Okay.
I mean, you got the internet, you got the MySpace, the Facebook. I mean, you got all these outlets, man, at your disposal. They are virtual resumes.
Yeah. I mean, groundbreaking author Ivan Sanchez. Okay, he's in the building. He's one of the first Latino, or are you the first Latino to get a major book deal with Simon & Schuster?
First Puerto Rican from the Bronx.
First Puerto Rican from the Bronx.
A memoir published by a major.
By a major publisher.
Maybe a plaque or something like that.
I'm the fourth in 40 years.
Wow.
From New York.
Wow.
So, I mean, we get a book every time.
So Ivan, tell us about growing up wild style in the Bronx. Tell us about
I might have a proposition for him at the end of this whole interview.
Okay, let's go. So go ahead, Ivan. Just feel free, man.
It was a wild time, man, and it was a time I put away.
Okay.
Basically, I went to about 20 funerals in like 5 years.
Give us the date. Give us the year span.
From like 88 to 93, it just got crazy. From 90 to 93, New York was averaging over 2,000 murders a year.
Okay.
That was the highest on record ever.
Okay.
Since they've been recording the numbers, but in 93, my cousin was murdered. Wow. My cousin went to jail for a triple homicide, and it happened the same night. I wasn't there because I took too long to get dressed.
Wow, so God spared you. You weren't there because God spared your life, man.
No doubt. So, I felt like I had to come back now as a man and tell these stories to try to educate these kids about the reality of the street life.
Wow.
Because when you're standing over a coffin, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's a thug. Everybody's crying. And there's no coming back. This is not a video game. This is not a movie. You don't get a second chance. You don't get to come back.
That's right.
And nobody's talking to these kids about that reality.
That's right. All they're doing is pushing negative images through the media and through the music. That's all they're doing.
They think it's great, yo. You know, we got gangsters all over the place. Virginia Beach, $500,000 homes, $1 million homes. These kids are gangsters. They're Bloods and Crips and they're shooting each other.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And their parents are doctors and lawyers, man.
That's crazy.
And nobody's really paying attention to that.
So you live in Virginia Beach now, right?
I've been out there, you know, I'm headed back here, man.
You're coming back to New York
Bronx.
City?
This is where my work is at. You know? Ever since the book came out, I've been in all kinds of schools, boys and girls clubs, group homes.
Okay.
You know, we're all over the place and we're getting in these kids' face.
Okay.
And we keep it very, very real with them.
Okay.
I basically tell them you're gonna die out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
Real
talk about death to these kids.
Yeah, it's real talk.
So they could appreciate life.
Real talk. All right, so you left in what, 93, 94 because you had enough of the violence, correct?
Yeah, man, I couldn't take it no more.
Okay.
My cousin's death just broke me.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back.
That was it, yeah.
And then you went away and you went to college.
Yeah.
You got educated.
No doubt.
And then you moved in 94, you went to Virginia, you got your associate's degree.
I got a bachelor's degree in
Okay, now you got a bachelor's degree.
doubt.
Okay, so you were doing the 9 to 5 thing over there.
Yeah.
And I understood you were writing for a local newspaper or something like that.
I was doing
Tell us
a lot.
about your introduction. Right.
I started actually freelance writing after 9/11.
Okay.
Because I used to work in the World Trade Center.
Okay.
So 9/11 broke me too.
You got scared again.
You know what I'm saying? I was in Virginia watching 9/11 on TV, and that same afternoon I saw people joking in the office. Like 2, 3. At the time we could have thought 5,000-10,000 people were dead.
Wow.
But in Virginia they could have cared. And I'm not saying everybody,
Yeah,
but a lot of people could have cared less.
Yeah, there's jerks all over, man.
You know what I'm saying? And that broke me, so I wrote an article about my experience working in the World Trade for 3 years and all that. And that kick-started my writing career.
So we also have my man DJ Disco Wiz is in the building. He's another pioneer, the first Latino DJ in the hip-hop game, you know, so it's a pleasure to have him up here. He came up in the game with Grandmaster Kaz, Grandmaster Kaz, and all those brothers. Kaz is a friend of the show. Kaz is a friend of the show. So tell us about the time, man. Tell us about you starting off as a DJ in what, the 1970s?
1975.
1975.
Yeah, but I already lived a life before that.
Talk to us about it. Keep us up to date.
Well, that's exactly the purpose of writing the book.
Okay.
Because it was a volatile time, you know what I mean? And just to portray us as human beings, you know what I mean? And just as, to tell the stories that no one's really talking about.
Okay.
So like Ivan said in Next Stop, but this is just a little more layered and detailed because it has, hip-hop history involved, New York history involved, and a lot of other history that I don't want to give away.
So when is your book being released? June of 2009. Yeah. And Ivan you and Ivan wrote this book together. He's one of the authors. You're one of the authors.
Ivan contacted me about 2 years ago.
Okay.
He shot me a copy of his book.
Okay.
And I read his book. I fell in love with his book.
Okay.
And like yourself, I was intrigued. I was like, wow, this dude is talking the real talk that no one's really talking about. And we became fast friends.
Okay.
And one thing led to another. He came to New York a couple of times, and we did a couple of events and stuff like that. And I guess he just said, yo. Because I had somebody else in the West Coast working on my book.
Okay.
But it was a different book. It
was
not the book that is now.
Okay.
It was just, ideas that I had about hip hop and stuff like that. Just, venting and stuff.
Okay.
But once I sat down with Ivan, he said, listen, man, I want to write your book.
Yeah.
Because Ivan, about 5 years earlier, was in Seattle, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
He was in Seattle and saw my archives in the museum up there.
Oh, really?
And he was like, wow, they do this from my neighborhood. And, it kind of got,
So you guys recently, your friend, within the last 5 years you became friends?
2 years.
2 years? All right, so I met you guys about 2 years ago.
Exactly. Well, that's about the same time that we started. Actually, probably when you met us, we probably had just penned out the first chapter of the book.
Wow.
The very first time we recorded for the book, we were recording in my car, sitting in front of Queensbridge Housing Project.
Oh, wow.
Getting ready to go into a Tools of War jam.
Yeah.
And the D-Tech van rolled up on us heavy, you know what I'm saying?
5-0 Black
Ain't nothing changed out here in New York, huh?
We
were in 2 nights of the car, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I'm an author, here's my book. And they were like, you know what neighborhood you in? Y'all need to get up out of here. We were like, oh, come on, man. So it's a little bit of history of when we actually first started recording the interviews for the book. But baby, this is your friendly neighborhood author, Ivan Sanchez, author of Next Stop, Growing Up Wild Style in the Bronx. Shout out to Matrix Studios, baby. One love.
What's up? DJ Disco Wiz, big up to my people up on the Matrix Radio. One love, yo.
You got niggas that's mad cause I'm always with they bitch. Then you got niggas that just don't like it. Those PhD niggas. But I pop a lot of shit, but I back it up though. See, there's a difference. A lot of niggas pop shit, and a lot of niggas don't make hits. But it's like this whole bad boy shit, we come to bring it to y'all niggas. Me, B.I., Puff, Locks, whoever, Black Rock.